Hey everyone, this is Vicki from Messy Table Studio. I have a sewing project today. Now, many of you know that I really do not like to sew, but this is kind of a different sew project. At least I'm not making clothes. This is going to become a recycled dog food bag, and it'll be recycled into, excuse me, I'm still fighting my cold. It's going to be made into a tote bag. It's called a DIY feed tote bag, whatever. You can put groceries in it, and it's very sturdy. So I'm just going to film this because of, excuse me, still coughing and sneezing from my head cold. If I can get my microphone to work that I bought ages ago and have never used, then I will do voiceovers. But if not, then I might just play music and occasionally interject and fast forward. That's might be all I can scrape up for today. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so it's been a couple weeks since I made the bag. I've had to record this like 4 times now with this new microphone, and it's just hasn't been going well. As you can see from this little clip here, I'm cutting off the top of the bag where the bag had been stitched closed. You need a nice straight surface. So the first thing you do is you measure down 3 inches from your nice clean cut, and then from there you do another 3 inches with a total of 6 inches cut off either the top or the bottom of the bag, whichever you prefer. The reason you're doing that is a lot of people want to get a certain picture in the middle of the bag. I didn't really care. I just wanted the bag to work. So I cut a total of 6 inches from the top. I bought a brand new Fisker rotary cutter, and it worked so well. I can't believe that I waited this long to actually use it on something. When I cut paper, I use paper cutters and scissors and an X-Acto knife. I never use this kind of stuff. But it worked really well, and I was so excited, except for I kept moving the ruler, and it's a little jagged on the top. But, you know, you're going to fold that down later and sew over it anyway. Let's see, what part did I do next? Oh, I'm trying to unglue the bottom of the bag. Now, this bag was glued over on the bottom, so I was trying to rip it off, and it felt like hot glue. So I had to get that off in order to make a nice clean cut on the bottom that I could measure. And as it turned out, then that was also glued underneath there again. So I had to cut above the glue line. I could have just, if I had known that's the way it was going to be, I would have cut it just on the glue line after I pulled that flap up. It would have given me a little bit more height on the bag. Live and learn. All right, so what you're looking at now is a 3-inch strip that I cut off the top of the bag. I'm going to write the measurements down. It's been a while since I've seen this, but I can't remember. I think it's you need 25 or 27 inches. And it's 3 inches thickness. I cut it, and I think I took a pen and wrote down the measurements. I'm just cutting off some of the extra seams, the bulk from extra seams. 21 inches long, 3 inches wide. Very good. I stupid proof it for myself. The next part is you have to turn the bag inside out. This is where starting the very beginning process of sewing prepping the bag for the handles starts. So you're going to measure, I think it's 1 inch down from the top, and then fold it over. And it made it difficult for me using this bag because this bag had 4 seams in it, 2 on each corner, and so that added a little bulk to it when I sewed it. I'll know next time to kind of trim those down or to fold them over and sew them better than what I did. This is still a learning process for me since like I said, I'm not a sewer. All right, and they say you can take a burnishing tool and poo. It's very heavy-duty plastic, and it was hard to use anything on it to make it stay flat, but it did a little bit, but it wasn't the greatest. Not like using paper, burnishing paper. So you fold it down, all the way around the top. I think I was trying to get it folded in my hands and trying to do it off camera. All right, so the next thing you have to do is you have to take the 3-inch wide strips that you cut that are 21 inches long, and you fold them into 3 equal parts. And it's supposed to be about 1 inch in width. By the time you get all the 2 extra folds in it, you're about 1 inch thick width. I used these little pins to hold it down because I was struggling. It just doesn't crease very well. So I did both of those. I sewed them. Now my machine, the tension on the bobbin was terrible. The front was fine. The back side of it was horrible. It's all bunched up and everywhere. So then you take one end of the strap and you put it underneath there, and then you mark 3 inches from the 1 inch of the bag in, or 6 inches. I can't remember, it's 3 or 6 inches. You can watch the lady's video and she'll tell you what it is. And you mark it so you know where to put the handle when you're sewing. I did put the clips on it, but I had to take them off because you can't sew it with that. So then you flip the bag. I think it's 6 inches in. I'm looking at my hands counting. Yeah, it's 6 inches in. Make a mark. 6 inches from the other side, make a mark. Then you put your handles on. I have to fold the inch down again. Put the clip on just to be sure you get it turned the proper direction. Put another clip, because you have to do it on both sides.
I finally finished sewing the bag.
Do it on both sides.
This is day 2 because day 1 I was in a chat group and I didn't want to sew too much while I was in there because it makes a lot of noise, and I did mute, but there were conversations that I was more interested in than sewing, so what can I say? Alright, so I can't show the bag with my camera the way it is. I mean, I can show, there's the handle sewn on properly, which I could faint, and I could show the bottom of the bag where there's square corners. And let me tell you, this was a booger, because the lady who did the tutorial that I found, her bags did not have seams on them. These dog food bags have plastic seams, you know, they have seams on it because this is plastic. And so it made it difficult to sew. So I think next time I do this, because this is the same dog food we buy every time, I might sew down these seams before I get started in the beginning so that it makes it easier. See, they should be sewn down because it would sure make it a lot easier to sew it. But here's the bag. It's all done. Let me see if I can move some of this stuff out of the way. You can't see it. I'll take pictures of it and put it at the end, but there's the bag. I wish I could tilt my camera so you could see it, but I'll post pictures at the end. But I finished it. Now, my tension on my machine is like totally everywhere. Look, the sewing is terrible. Terrible. But for my first one, where I don't know how to adjust the tension on my machine, it was a little tricky. Then the inside, you can see, the inside, the tension, I figured out some of the tension, and it's a little better like over here, and then over here, and the rest of it just looked like the dickens. So for those of you who sew, you can get a really good laugh at my tension on my sewing machine and my sewing, but I really enjoyed doing that. And so the next time we buy another bag, I'm going to make another one because I enjoyed it that much. In the meantime, I need to learn how to fix the tension on my machine, and I think I need a better needle. I think my needle was too fine for the plastic. I did make the stitch count larger because she said that if you make it too tiny, that it will tend to chew through the bag and cause it to rip later from the, you know, the stitches being so close together. The pulling will pull it apart. So I made it like, what's it on, a 10. and it still looks crazy. Plus, you know, my tension's terrible. There's my bowl of threads. Anyway, so this is it. I will take pictures of the bag. I am just so excited that I finished it on a whim. I don't remember. I can't remember if somebody sent me the video. It might have been Aunt Becky from Aunt Beck's Creations. I don't remember. But it was so much fun. It was so much fun. Very noisy. So if you have an aversion to crinkling noises and large plastic noises, you should wear some kind of ear protection because it will drive you absolutely batty because you're constantly turning the plastic. I'm hoping you get something that's not as loud as mine was. Okay, so stay tuned at the end for the photos. Thanks, everybody. See you in the next one.